Hi, I'm JerrytheSnakeman, and today on Snake Clips we're going to take you through some of our native New York snakes, because I'm from New York, and when we do educational programs, a lot of times people want to see what they're going to find out in their yard. So we're going to show you the native snakes. Want to start off this video though telling you, in order to keep these snakes, I do have to have a New York State DEC license to keep all the native snakes. Plus I have to have a second New York State license for venomous snakes for the copperhead we're going to show you. And I have the third New York State DEC license to keep our timber rattlesnake, which is a threatened species that's found in New York. I also would like to apologize to people. A lot of people have been asking me to post more and more videos, and I'm really happy to say though that I don't have a lot of time to post these videos. I like doing them, but you guys have made us so popular with our shows that we've been so busy performing the shows and educating the public that we have very little time in order to do these. So please be patient with me. Hopefully come this fall, when we slow up a little bit, I'll be able to put more and more videos out there. So if you guys have any comments and stuff or what you want to see, just let me know, and I will try to make those videos up for you. So I hope you enjoy this, what we're doing now. Like I said, these are some of the native snakes that we take to our shows, so people in New York can see what they might find out in their backyard. So please stay tuned, and if you like this video, give us a like on YouTube. Okay, today being we're showing you the snakes that we use at our shows and why we use them. The first snake we're going to take out is a black racer. We do a lot of shows in New York, and a lot of people want to know what snakes are native to New York. So I do try to have a wide variety of our native snakes. Now the black racer here is one of the fastest, second fastest snakes in the United States. They're very, very quick. They're usually very, very aggressive, but again, if you move kind of really slow with these snakes, he's right back here in the corner. I'm going to move extremely slow. I'm going to get him, there he goes, pick him up, support his body on both front and back, and generally when I do this, he's not going to try to bite at me. They're the second fastest snakes in the United States, but they are the fastest snakes in New York. They're really cool snakes. They're slender. They're super quick. You'll usually have a hard time catching these guys if you try to. I love them because they're solid black in coloration. They're beautiful snakes. There's just one of the snakes, like I said, that I really like. I like that jet blackness that they have to them. I do like the fact that they're super aggressive, but as you can see here, this guy, because I'm not doing anything to threaten him, I'm handling him nice and easy and gently supporting two parts of his body. He has no reason to want to try to come and attack me. Okay, the next snake we got here that we use for our shows is a black rat snake. Black rat snakes are very common in New York. They're one of the largest snakes that you're going to find. Black rat snakes can be anywhere from being solid jet black to having markings like this one here does. He has some white that's held. Again, these guys usually when acquired first in the wild, they're going to be a little bit defensive, but once in captivity they do settle down quite nicely. I'm not one that actually says that you should go out and capture wild snakes and keep them in that captivity, because there's too many captive bred snakes which are a lot healthier and do quite well as pets. Also in New York, you do have to have a license to keep any snakes that are native to New York, which we do. It's given to us through the DEC. Black rat snakes are probably one of the best mousers that you're going to find. These guys here, if you have a mice or rat problem, they will control it for you. They're terrific snakes, and they're they're one of the snakes we love to have in our shows, because we love to show people what kind of snakes are actually out there in New York that you could actually go outside and come across if you're walking through your backyard. And here we have an eastern milk snake. Now the eastern milk snake is probably one of the most misidentified snakes. I get called a lot because an eastern milk snake does resemble with its patterns copperhead sometimes, except for the eastern milk snake does not have a triangular shaped head, and he has markings on his head where a copperhead does not. The other thing with an eastern milk snake, I get called out sometimes to relocate them because people think that they're rattlesnakes. An eastern milk snake, when he gets aggravated, will rattle his tail very violently, and in so doing people think that he's a rattlesnake even though there's no rattle on his tails. But eastern milk snakes are related to king snakes, so they are snake-eating snakes, and they will take the opportunity to eat other snakes such as your garter snakes and whatnot. So an eastern milk snake is a very good snake to have around. If you don't like other snakes, he will take care of those, but he also is a very good mouser as well. And they're also very beautiful snakes. Now the coloration though can be darker or it could be lighter, so it's really hard to identify a snake just by his patterns or his colorations. The next snake we have here is one of the most popular snakes you're going to find around outside, and it is, of course, your garter snake. They're very quick, as you can see. They're very wiry. They tend to bite repeatedly if you grab them from the wild. They do have a gland, musk gland, which is located by their cloaca. So when you're holding them, they will smear a foul-smelling liquid upon you. Now these snakes here are called garter snakes and not garden snakes. They're called garter snakes because of their striping, and they look like garters that they used to wear to hold up their socks. A common name or a local name would be garden snake, because most people do find them in the garden, and that's why they think they get their name garden snakes. These guys are really cool. They'll eat worms, they'll eat fish. They're very helpful to have around. They're harmless snakes. They don't grow to a large size, but as you can see, they're very quick, and he just keeps moving. So I'm going hand over hand with him. They do make great pets. I mean, you can get some feeder fish, put them in their water bowl, they'll eat them. You can give them worms. Garter snakes, I think, are probably one of the most underappreciated snakes that you'll find in the pet trade, but they are, again, they're great snakes to have. They're hardy snakes. They give birth to live, so if you put male and female together, you might end up with a bunch of little babies crawling all around. And the next snake we have here is a northern water snake. Now, northern water snakes are typically pretty aggressive when you encounter them into the wild. Again, this guy here, though, he's been in captivity for a little bit. He's settled down quite a bit. He is not aggressive whatsoever, though. He wasn't even aggressive when he was acquired. Northern water snakes, typically, though, when you will find them, they will be very quick to bite you. They have an anticoagulant in their saliva, which means that when they bite you, it'll cause you to bleed a lot more, so the bite will look a lot worse than it actually is. These guys here, of course, you'll find them by the water. They give birth to live babies. I had a mother who gave birth to 22 little babies, which was really cute. The babies, even at a young age, though, they tend to be a little bitey. But these guys are really cool. Now, up in New York, though, many people will tell you that we have cottonmouths up here, water moccasins. We do not. What you're going to encounter are these northern water snakes. So you don't have to worry about the fact that these snakes are not venomous, but they will bite you very quickly, and they will usually use the ability to retreat out into the water if you come into contact with them. Okay, and in New York we have three different kinds of venomous snakes. We have a Massasauga rattlesnake, which is a pygmy form. It's an endangered species, and it's in a very isolated area, so you're probably not going to run into it very often in New York. This here is a copperhead. Is one of the more common snakes that you will find. Copperheads, again, if you look, they have the triangular shaped head as he's showing you here. It's no markings on the head whatsoever. And you can see the patterns that he has. Copperheads typically are snakes that will strike first and then try to figure out what they bit later. So if you see these in the wild, basically leave them alone. They're not going to bother you. They're pretty much looking just to be left alone. They'll use their camouflage to hide as much as possible. But they are a pit viper, so they have heat sensors, and they also are the fact that their venom is considered not to be a lethal bite, but trust me, if you were to get bit by one of these, you definitely would want to seek medical attention. Okay, and that third venomous snake we were talking about in New York is a timber rattlesnake, and that's what we have here for you, a buzztail. Timber rattlesnakes are the second largest rattlesnakes that you're going to find in the United States, only second to the eastern diamondback. They have a very deadly venom. If they were to bite you and you didn't seek medical treatment, you probably would die. These snakes come anywhere from being as dark as this one to solid black. They also can come to be very light with their patterns. Again, as you can see, he's not trying to bite at me. He's a very beautiful snake. He only has a very small segment of his rattles, but I know you probably heard him rattling there for a little bit. I really love these snakes, but they're not, they're snakes that den in the same den their entire life. They only travel 4 to 5 miles out from their den and they go back to the same den. So unless you live by a den, which is normally in a cliffside, you generally are not going to find these guys in your yard. We do have a lot of dens though around where I live here, so these guys are pretty common to be found. Hear him rattling there now. Again, as you can see, they're not super aggressive snakes. He's not trying to come after me. He's trying to actually get away from me.